हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mataji.
दंडवत प्रणाम।
So Prabhuji, I'm not sure where the prayers would be. I can bring from the desire tree, if that's okay.
Mataji, it's in Bhagavad Gita first preface. There's
Okay, thank you.
it
Mataji.
is.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Page 1.
Can we start with the Jai Radha Madhava? Maybe Krishna Mataji also. Then you can start with the Mangalacharan.
I found it, but yes, Prabhuji, we can start.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Mataji. If any of the devotees would like to recite the prayers, please.
I can do Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Om Agganatimanandasagana Shalaka Chokshur Milano Tashmo Sri Guru Namo Sri Manavishnu Saping Jano Butule Shangrupa Pada Moyang Dada Tisha Padantikam Bandham Sri Guru Shijito Pada Kamalam Sri Guru Bhushang Tang Shajibang Shadutang Shabudam Pujana Shuitam Krishna Chaitanya Devang Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lita Sri Vishani Tangcho He Krishna Pana Sindhu Dinabandh Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namaste তপ্ত কাঞ্চন গৌরাঙ্গী রাধে বৃন্দাবনেশ্বরী বিশ্ববানুসুতে দেবী প্রণামে হরিপে বাঞ্ছা কল্পতরুবশ্চ কৃপা সিন্ধু এব চ পতিতাং পাবনে বৈষ্ণব নমো নমো জয় শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ থ্যাংক ইউ
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so very much. Beautifully reciting. Okay, we can go to the text. In the Supreme. And if I remember correctly, 8.7 is what we have to read today. Please correct me, Rose, Mother.
It should be 8, Mataji.
Yeah, 8.8, Prabhu.
I did not attend yesterday, but I believe it should be
8.8. That's 8.8 is correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you all devotees for joining. Anybody would like to recite Bhagavad Gita 8.8, please?
Yes, I can do it, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 8. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusam divyam yati partanu chintayan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other devotees would like to recite, please?
जय माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगामिना परं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थ नो चिन्तयन्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Any of the Prabhus would like to recite, please?
Yeah, I can recite. Abhyasa-yoga-yuktena ceta-sananya-gamina paramam purusham divyam yati parthanuchintayan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to recite the synonyms and translation, please? Thank you, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Vyasa Yoga, in the practice of meditation, Yuktena, being engaged, Satasa, by the mind and intelligence, Na, Anya, the Maina, without
Gamina.
deviated, Parama, the Supreme Purusha, the personality of Godhead, Divyam, transcendental, Yati, one achieves, Partha, O son of Partha, Chintayan, constantly thinking of. Translation: He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone would like to recite, read the purport? His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I can read.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, Lord Krishna stresses the importance of remembering him. One's memory of Krishna is revived by chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. By this practice of chanting and hearing the sound vibration of the Supreme Lord, one's ear, tongue, and mind are engaged. This mystic meditation is very easy to practice and it helps one attain the Supreme Lord. Purusham means enjoyer. Although living entities belong to the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord, they are in material contamination. They think themselves enjoyers, but they are not the Supreme Enjoyer. Here it is clearly stated that the Supreme Enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different manifestations and plenary expansions as Narayana Vasudeva. The devotee can constantly think of the object of worship, the Supreme Lord, in any of his features, Narayana, Krishna, Rama, etc., by chanting Hare Krishna. This practice will purify him, and at the end of his life, due to his constant chanting, he will be transferred to the kingdom of God. Yoga practice is meditation on the super soul within. Similarly, by chanting Hare Krishna, one fixes his mind always on the Supreme Lord. The mind is fickle, and therefore it is necessary to engage the mind by force to think of Krishna. One example often given is that of the caterpillar that thinks of becoming a butterfly and so is transformed into a butterfly in the same life. Similarly, if we constantly think of Krishna, it is certain that at the end of our lives we shall have the same bodily constitution as Krishna. So it's this beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada, our Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, and today is the Guru Purnima. So my millions of obeisances to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, who is guiding through his books to us. So Prabhupada is telling here that chanting the holy name is so important, and chanting and hearing, and and Prabhupada in his lectures, he mentioned that this sound vibration came from the spiritual world. This is not came from the material world. It is from the spiritual world. And this sound vibration, through this one, we can engage our ear, tongue, and mind to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada also is telling to forcefully you can think of Krishna. So if we do not have the taste to chant, we can just do forcefully, just do mechanically, and by doing it, and our taste of chanting will come. So His Grace Amarendra Prabhuji was telling in one of his lecture that if someone has no taste, like he is not hungry to eat something, and but someone in presence of that person who has no taste for eating, and he's telling about, oh, this is, I ate this in appetizer pakora, and then it was the paneer, paneer was there in the main course, and then gulab jamun was in the dessert, etc., talking all the good prasadam. Then if someone is not even hungry, they will get the taste. The same way, if practicing devotee when tells about Krishna to someone, and that with that the Krishna's glories will also give this little taste to the person who has no taste for Krishna consciousness. So such a nice analogy Prabhuji was giving. So just would like to mention that here. So, and also Prabhupada is mentioning here that the personality of Godhead and his manifestation, anyone can meditate upon Rama, Krishna, Narayana, whoever they like, they can meditate. But you are, and ultimately they are meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And doing this it's a gradual process, and doing this will become pure someday. And it's an analogy also about the caterpillar who becomes the butterfly eventually. And that way we can also constantly thinking of Krishna, we can get the our ultimate goal. Back to Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so very much, Mataji. Beautifully covered all the points that Prabhupada was giving here in the purport. Beautiful points on mantra meditation, not just a meditation, but mantra meditation, emphasizing the chanting, on how Prabhupada here is emphasizing on the chanting, importance of chanting, and meditating upon the super soul. Anybody else would like to share, please? It's a beautiful verse, similar
Yeah.
to yesterday's verse. Yes, Mataji.
When Bhashwati Mataji was reading this paragraph, when I first heard the word meditation, like immediately realized that I'm sitting in the Padmasana and like, focusing on something. But then gradually Prabhupada made it clear that this meditation is not that same meditation. It's just you have to chant, like you don't have to sit at one place. You can also do your work while chanting. Yeah, that's true. So it's very easy, as Prabhupada has also mentioned, that this mystic meditation is very, very easy to practice. And that's true. Like while driving also we can chant. Like while cooking also, it's a really good practice, that because when you are chanting, the people around you also like gets to hear what, if you are chanting like vocally, then people around you also get to hear those words, and like the environment becomes so pure. Everyone is like get into that mood. So yeah, this is really, really nice practice. Everyone should, I'll advise everyone should practice this. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hi, Bol Mataji. Thank you so very much for the encouragement and inspiring words on mantra meditation. And if we chant together, that's even more congregational chanting. It's even more beneficial to what I heard from one of the Prabhuji. Chanting alone and chanting in front of Tulsi Maharani, and sitting in front of Tulsi Maharani along with the devotees, and then sitting in front of Tulsi Maharani along with devotees on a very auspicious day, every day is auspicious, but festivals and so forth, it's more, even more. So we shouldn't be, we should take advantage of those days to chant even more. Thank you for sharing, Mataji. Any other devotees would like to share thoughts on this beautiful verse, please?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Like all the points are covered by Basmati Mataji and Krish Mataji, agree. But one more thing, along with our the Mahamantra is we are chanting, but through tongue, and we are hearing, and also our mind is engaged. Along with that, a touch is also there because we are touching the beats. So all the four senses, along with the eyes, I think all five senses are working when we are doing chanting. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, touch and Prabhu sir here can correct um, the way that I heard in terms of touch. The beads, the beads are actually the beads from Tulsi Marani, Tulsi beads. There may be different types of beads, Tulsi beads and neem beads also, as I hear. But once initiated, we get the Tulsi beads, as what I heard. But the
Tulsi beads are rare because you
mm,
don't get that big trunk to make these beads. So Tulsi beads are what we put in the neck. These are Tulsi beads. But the beads you see mainly neem cut or other woods, because those trunk has to be very big. Big Tulsi is very rare to find. There's some there, but you cannot make that large produce. So
got it, Prabhu. Thank you.
neem.
Thank you for confirming that, Prabhu. But mentally, with Manas, we can um, we can we can think like we are offering Tulsi through those. Though it's neem, we can feel like we are actually doing japa on Tulsi beads, because Tulsi Maharani is the best devotee to Lord Krishna. So we always offer Tulsi Maharani on the prasadam. Anything that we try to offer to Krishna, we offer it with the Tulsi Maharani, because Tulsi Maharani is the best devotee, closest devotee. So we can meditate to the touch point. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Anybody else would like to share any additional points?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can say something.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go.
Yeah, in this is actually, this verse is a continuation of the previous verse, and this verse is Krishna is stressing the importance of remembering him, and he has given us, how Prabhupada is then expanding on that and talking about the tongue and ears and mind, and how all these are engaged in the chanting. The chanting itself, initially, it's something that we might be doing mechanically, but then as we keep on doing it, it is actually a purification process, and that helps the more we get tuned to it and keep doing it on a regular basis and do more of those rounds, then it becomes a second nature, and it's a purification process. And the mind, as you mentioned here, is fickle, and we have read that before also. I think in chapter 2, in Restless as the Wind or something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but that's what the mind is. It's all over the place. And we have to constantly bring it back, especially in this Kali Yuga. We've got a million and one material things constantly pulling us so many different ways. So we got to bring it back. And here Prabhupada is saying that we need to force it to come back and think about Krishna. And then an example is also given how by doing this chanting, example is given here, what kind of transformation will come to us. For instance, a caterpillar eventually can become a butterfly in the same life. So the goal here is that we constantly keep on chanting and we attain if very few, of course, very few elevated souls might actually uh, finally attain the bodily constitution of Krishna. That's a really very lofty goal, but maybe some people achieve it. Thank you, Madhavi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing. Very good points, Prabhu, on pushing ourselves, bringing ourselves out from that comfort zone. And we all know I believe His Grace Prangun Das Prabhuji was mentioning one time when somebody was asking Prabhupada, what is your toughest thing to be while being in this Krishna consciousness and preaching us? And so everybody was thinking going in building temples. They were thinking going to building temples or preaching or something like that. Prabhupada said chanting. So can you believe Prabhupada saying chanting as the difficult part for him? Although he's a Mahabhagavat, um, it's not really tough for him. But then on a practical note to his devotees, he was saying chanting. Yes, it is tough chanting, but once we know the purpose of chanting, why we are chanting, or for whom we are chanting, then through the mercy that flows through the Guru Parampara, chanting will be easy. It's easy said than done, but everybody can actually try to experience by knowing why we are chanting or for whom we are chanting. We all know why we are chanting, because we want to, as Krishna says here, or Prabhupada says here, to push ourselves and have our mind fixed on Krishna, on the lotus feet of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is saying, if the mind is fixed on me, then undoubtedly you'll be coming to me, you'll be reaching me. So we know the reason why, but for whom? For whom are we chanting? Yes, for Krishna, but Krishna is like a president. If I am a normal citizen and I want to have an appointment to a president, if I go, then the bodyguards would obviously push me out. So I need to take an appointment. I need to reach the person in the front door. Then he need to inform. First of all, president should be there. So there are a lot of steps in between a citizen and a president. It's not that easy. But if I know the person who's actually the secretary, who's actually dealing with the president, then it's very easy. Somehow or the other, the secretary will help me reach the president very easily. So that's where the guru comes in. A guru who's fully focused on Krishna, who can help me, who always thinks about Krishna and always talks about Krishna, can easily take me to Krishna, show me a path to go to Krishna. So we should always depend on the Guru, on his words, because the path is simple. His intention is to show Krishna or show a path to reach Krishna, because the mercy is coming to him through his Guru. And then the same mercy would be given to me as if we sincerely desire. So that's what Krishna is saying here. His mind constantly engaged in remembering me, constantly. So, and And if we try ourselves to constantly remember Krishna, it's not going to happen. Well, we can try, but it should come through mercy also. So I learned this way, and I tried to experiment as well. While chanting, if I normally when I did in the past, like, yes, I have to chant, I have to focus, I have to pull my mind here, there. And yes, it worked out in few days, but few days when I sleep late, early in the morning, when I force myself to get up, no, it did not work out. Either I fall asleep while chanting, or I get sick after the chanting because forcefully completing the 16 rounds and so forth. But then later, when I got to know that it's the mercy which is allowing me to chant in the first place, and then continue with the chanting as well as focus on Krishna. So when we remember that we are actually chanting for the pleasure of Guru, who's giving the mercy to chant, then the chanting would be very easy. I would like you all to try. I mean, you all would be doing it anyway, but if anybody did not, I would request you to try and and let us know the difference. That's my realization in terms of chanting, on taking the shelter of the Guru. So that emphasizes the dependency of the jiva onto the Supreme Lord. Here, Prabhupada is saying the Purusha, who's the enjoyer, right? I was hearing a lecture from Prabhupada where Prabhupada was saying there are three types of Purushas. Ourselves and the Paramatma and the Bhagwan. All are Purushas, all are enjoyers. But the ultimate enjoyer is the Bhagwan, the Purna Purusha, is Bhagwan. So we are like limited. Our enjoyment is limited, conditioned, dependent. So that though it's an enjoyer, it's not a real enjoyer per se, because it is dependent. But the Bhagwan, who's the Purna Purusha, is the real enjoyer. So whatever we do, if we do for the pleasure of the actual enjoyer or the real enjoyer, once he is satisfied, that's how the mercy flows backwards onto us. Ultimately, we would be satisfied too. So these are my few points. Please correct me, devotees, if I've spoken or deviated in any way.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice explanation. Good thoughts, good discussion. Can you move the screen little up, Mataji?
Yes.
Yeah. A couple of thoughts, if I may share. So obviously, Krishna is definitely is asking us to pay special attention to our mind. It is just not the there are mind is a very complex tool. So this is the meditation, and we also here we are seeing that Param Purusham, right? Paramam Purusham, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I used to be very perplexed. First, initially, when reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, what is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Now, I mean, by verses like this, we come to know that, yeah, these are all very true, good translation. Paramam Purusham, that is one thing. And Krishna is saying, Anuchintayan. We have to constantly think of him. It is just not, that is the key in advancement of Krishna consciousness. Because we are all chanting, we are all thinking about Krishna in a kind of a little limited way. But the advance, the progress will come when we try to think about him constantly. I think that's what is Krishna is always using, like constantly or satatam or anuchintayan and so on. So Mataji, if you can go little down on the second paragraph. Okay. So devotees, one or two times we had discussed about how to worship on Krishna. Sham Sundara form. Do I just worship on that particular form? What happens if I don't get that particular form? It doesn't come to my mind. Here Prabhupada is very nicely explaining the devotee can constantly think of the object of the worship, which is Krishna, in any of his features. Narayana, Krishna, Rama. So this is also quite important. Devotees, sometimes we may not, our mind, suddenly when, especially, let's say when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, our mind is mostly drawn to Krishna giving the Jyotis or Gitas or to Arjuna. So there is nothing wrong. We should not get too much disturbed that why my mind is not thinking about that one particular form of Krishna. Any form of Krishna is good. Form of Narayana is good. Form of Rama is good. There is one canto toward the end of Bhagavatam, canto 11. Krishna himself is giving, I think it's one of the last chapters, 28, 11:28 or something like that, where Krishna is giving an enter Uddhava is asking what should be the process of worshipping on Krishna. Very detailedly Krishna is saying, very detailed, verse by verse. But we are not, I think we may be a little premature reading that. That need to be studied under a very, very elevated, advanced guru, so that they can explain us why Krishna is saying how to worship upon. But until then, I think we should just focus on, whatever our mind can observe in Krishna, in his lotus feet, whether it is in Vrindavan pastime or Dwarka pastime, everything is good. That's what is Shilpa. Haribol Mataji.
Prabhuji, did you mention 11th canto of 11th chapter?
My mind failed. But if I may request Mataji, you should read those chapters with a good guidance. Otherwise, it may be slightly confusing because there are a lot of details how to worship upon Krishna. I don't want you to get unnecessarily,
Confused.
I think it is chapter 27.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I actually have one more question also. In this first paragraph, around the second sentence, I think, Prabhupada mentions that one's memory of Krishna is revived by chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. For me at least, like this, I have not experienced it so far, but I just wanted to, see if, like, we have many senior devotees in this class. Can someone share anything in this context? Hare Krishna.
Where exactly, Mataji? Memory?
Mataji, the second sentence in the first paragraph, one's memory of Krishna is revived by chanting the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Like, I'm a new devotee, so like for me, this is almost like theory. I just wanted to see if
Mataji,
anyone can
We
share.
are all new, Mataji. Yes, go ahead, Mataji, please. Pashwati Mataji.
Mataji, I'm not sure about what Prabhupada says, but I think Prabhupada is mentioning about a pure devotee. So, a pure devotee who will constantly chant the Maha Mantra, engaging all his senses, and that pure devotee can remember Lord's pastime or Lord's memory, and it will revive by chanting, but it will be at a very high level thought, Mataji. It's for the very exalted, pure devotee, like who can memorize Krishna and his pastimes by chanting this.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for explaining.
But please, Prabhuji, Mataji, please. And Mataji, also I'd like to add the marginal potency of ours. So here Prabhupada also explained that although living entities belong to the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord, they are in material contaminations. So Supreme Lord has three energies, as we know: spiritual potency or internal energy. Then the second is the marginal energy, and third is the external energy or material energy. So this marginal energy or Tathastha Shakti is called, also in Bengali, it's called Tathastha Shakti or marginal energy in between Krishna's internal potency or spiritual energy and Krishna's external potency or material energy. It's in between, in the borderline. So we are in the borderline. We are the living entity. We are the Jiva Tattva. It's called Jiva Tattva. So we came from this marginal energy of the Lord. So that's why we are materially contaminated, and that's why we forget Krishna. We are here because of that in this material world, because we want to enjoy separate from Krishna. So our enjoyment always involves our sense gratification, where Krishna's presence is not there. So that's why we are trying the Krishna consciousness practice, so that we can always bring Krishna in our life, in all our enjoyment. Definitely we'll enjoy, but with Krishna, with involving Krishna. So that's what Mataji I just like to add here.
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So in the mode of a service, whatever we do it as a service to the Lord, to the Supreme Lord. That way, the ultimate enjoyer in that service that we do is the Supreme Lord Himself. Thank you for sharing, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody and any other devotees would like to share on this beautiful verse, additional points or corrections?
Mataji, if may I share the pastime of Haridas Thakur? Because
yes,
we are discussing about chanting. So if we don't take the name of Srila Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Haridas Thakur, so I think everybody here knows about Srila Haridas Thakur. So Srila Haridas Thakur is called Namacharya because he chants every day 162 rounds, right, or 132 rounds, 8 hours. Like he slept 22 hours. Sorry, he chanted 22 hours every day and 2 hours sleeping. So Srila Haridas Thakur was the very intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in Jagannath Puri, he was very old and weak, and therefore he could not be able to complete his chanting. So Mahaprabhu came to him asking, like, Haridas, what are you doing? You are getting old, so why you don't reduce the chanting, your chanting? But Haridas Thakur replied that I am okay, my body is okay, but my disease is I cannot complete my chanting. Like he thinks for him it's a big offense because he cannot complete his chanting, his rounds, because of his weakness. But still he's saying my body is okay. So, and eventually Haridas Thakur left his body, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila mentioned that Haridas Thakur left his body by his wish, and he compared that with Vishwadeva. Like when Bhishmadeva wants to leave his body, that's called Ichha Mrityu. And Bhishmadeva that time, he left his body. The same way Haridas Thakur also left his body with his wish. So that's what, Mataji, I just would like to mention here, that how exalted acharyas were they. So they showed so good example of how sincere they are. Like because of their health, they could not be able to chant. Haridas Thakur won't be able to chant, but still he is not complaining that he is sick, but he is weak. He is complaining that he cannot complete his chanting. That's he thinks that's his disease. So so enlightening. Back to you, Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji. Sorry.
Thank you so very much, Mataji. Very inspiring. Yes, on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, we have to remember the mercy, the mercy of the gurus. The now that we are in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, the mercy flows directly from Krishna, and we hear from our acharya senior devotees always we have to while chanting, or may not be while chanting because we focus on Krishna, but whenever we read, whenever we hear about the acharyas, we have to meditate upon them, on their life, on how merciful they are, how um, I sometimes I think when I think about them, they don't have to do all of this. Prabhupada doesn't have to write all these books. If it is for him, then he doesn't have to write all these books, all these purports so beautifully and so. But why actually did he write? Why actually did he come? Why did he write in that age? Um, Very less. When we try to meditate upon their life, on their mercy, we could clearly see for the benefit of the souls, just for the souls to be happy. um, Prabhupada has the formula, and he just wants to share the formula, open secret. All he's saying is just follow, just follow. Though he says so easily to follow, although he gives without taking anything in return. Sometimes, as the purport clearly says, because of the material contamination, engaged in many of the activities without remembering Krishna in those activities, we get deviated. But then we are all trying, sincerity in trying, patiently trying is most important. As I think we discussed yesterday, or I was sharing yesterday, the two things which are very most important: enthusiasm and patience. We should always be enthusiastic in being part of the service. So chanting is also a service. So diligently, when we get that service, we have to diligently focus on the purpose, on why we are chanting, on whose pleasure we are chanting. Diligently do the service very well for the pleasure of the Lord. And then, as today's verse speaks, practice, 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 but do not leave the path until we achieve the. As Sridham Prabhu also always mentioned, it's a journey, not a destination. Krishna consciousness is a journey. So we find success in each and every level of the journey, not the destination. Destination is in Krishna's hands in whichever way he wants to put us in whichever situation he wants to. But within that situation, which is like an exam to us, we have to see ourselves whether we are in the path on what Krishna is expecting, which is Krishna consciousness, or are we giving up by lamenting or bragging on the situation? Because the situation is given by Krishna. So we have to take the situation like a service and patiently, toleratingly be in the path, because the situation will the situation will change anyway. It's not constant in this material world, but our consciousness is constant. So in that situation, am I constantly, consciously sticking to the path in a way that I'm closer to Krishna, or am I getting deviated to the path, which means going away from Krishna? So we have to constantly think on each and every situation we are put in. And if we really can't get out of it through our consciousness, or always pray to Krishna. Krishna, you know my past, you know my future, and you know my present. So I'm in this situation. Please help me to tolerate and eventually get out of this situation. So if we are sincere, Guru will sure help us. Krishna will send the Guru for us, and then Guru will obviously will be sharing everything about Krishna. So he will help us come closer to Krishna. So I think I started somewhere and I ended somewhere. Please forgive me. But anyone else would like to share? I think we have only 10 minutes. Not sure if I don't think we'll be going to the next verse. So maybe we can continue with the same verse. Would anybody would like to share any reflections or takeaways from this verse and corrections?
Nandini Mataji wants to say something.
Yes,
Oh,
Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji is here. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you very much. So, Vaisheshika Prabhu, when he said recently in a class, some people say God is in heaven. Some people say God is in within, you know. So God is in heaven is like cloud, you know. Cloud also has water. But if you're thirsty and somebody says go to the cloud and drink water, it doesn't make sense, right? Cloud is full of water. It can flood an entire city like Mumbai. But if somebody says, I'm thirsty, but yeah, go to the cloud and get the water, it doesn't make sense. Others say Krishna is within, God is within. And it's like saying that, yes, there's water in the earth. If you dig up a little bit, you'll get water. Again, if you're thirsty, you're not going to dig up the earth and find the water. So Krishna is within also doesn't help. But when you say Krishna is, here is cup of water, that's like chanting. Here is a bead bag, you can chant and just connect with Krishna and satisfy your thirst of your soul. So it's very important to chant on the beads, and that is the water that is accessible. Water is life, and our getting Krishna in our palm of the hands, so magically, so fast, so much at the level we can connect and satisfy our spiritual hunger and thirst. It's magical. Haribol, I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so very much on explaining on the importance of chanting on the beads.
Right.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, devotees, and Pranam.
Krishna.
I joined a bit late, Mataji. I just got back home, but I was listening to you and Sridham Prabhu, Baswati Mataji, as well as Nandini Mataji. There's one thing I just wanted to add. Krishna says here that he wants us to meditate upon him. A lot of times, I have been asked this question, that how could you just meditate on like Krishna, and let's say they have an image or picture of Krishna that they are imagining, and they are meditating upon Krishna's form. And I think one thing which I thought of adding here is that the beauty of the Lord is that there are so many pastimes, and he has so many forms. You can, like, literally, there's so much of variety that when we meditate upon the Lord's names, we can actually visualize within our mind different forms of the Lord and different pastimes. And so, like, I mean, at least that's what I sometimes practice, that when I'm chanting, of course the focus is always has to be to kind of hear the holy name. But sometimes when I'm not chanting out loud, and I'm in a situation where I'm not really chanting out loud, when I just close my eyes and just think about the Lord, I kind of meditate upon his form as well as his various pastimes. So sometimes people may say that, okay, kind of repeating the same thing again and again, or seeing the same object again and again, can make you feel like you've kind of you not be able to focus as much. So this is just something that I wanted to add uh, about, like, the various forms of the Lord that exist. And even in the purport also, Prabhupada is mentioning, you can meditate upon Lord Narayana's form, or Lord Krishna's form, or Lord Rama's form. Like, sorry. So just wanted to add that also, Mataji's. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Prabhuji. When I start chanting, I look at Krishna in front of me. And then slowly, when it gets deeper, somehow or the other, my eyes gets closed. Okay, I'm focusing on Krishna by closing the eyes. I feel like, okay, I'm more focused. But then within no time, I don't know from where the sleep comes. slowly degraded. And then I realized, no, I should have been open my eyes and look at the beautiful picture of Krishna, the name of the Krishna, not different from the picture. So, and then that's how I think bringing the mind back onto the Krishna. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. As you said, his features, Narayana, Krishna, Rama, there are a lot of names of Krishna, unlimited. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. I think we have 3 minutes. If any of the other devotees would like to share, we haven't heard from our Baldev Seva Prabhu,
Mataji,
Shyam
very nicely
Prasad Prabhu is
explained.
here.
Thank you, Mataji, for your service.
Thank you. Shubal Prabhu, would you like to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji, and from wonderful Mataji, and all the realizations and your chanting. I know that even in the morning I see you chanting very attentively, and whatever you mentioned, I'm thinking that might be yoga nidra, because you chant so deeply that you are enchanted, so inspired Mataji. And today's session also, of course I joined a little late, but thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Shyam Prasad Prabhu, would you like to add? Okay, may not be available. Okay, if nothing else, then probably maybe we can end here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, very nice verse and very nice explanation and excellent lead. So, unless devotees have any other thoughts or comment, it's almost 9. But if you want to take some final comments from devotees, please go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. If devotees can share just one sentence on what, if any, takeaway from this call today, from this verse, if Krishna inspired anything from their heart, they can share.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji and Prabhujis.
Shri Hare Krishna.
Shall I tell my personal personal achievement of Lord Sri Krishna, how I became a devotee?
Yes, Prabhuji.
At 1996, in Anantapur, ISKCON Temple was constructing, Mataji. At that time, I have lost everything. I am not having any bad habits, even though I have lost everything. But only the thing is, I am remembering that Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja. So, Krishna, I have lost everything, but you give me the courage to face the problems. Then I went to constructing our ISKCON temple in Anantapur, Mataji. There I went by cycle. Even for petrol also, I was not having money. So I have depended upon Lord Sri Krishna. Then I have started what are the mistakes, what is the my faults. Now I became crores of rupees. What is properties? Our children became one of the good doctor and one of the good engineer in US. So whenever we got problems, we have to depend upon Lord Sri Krishna. That always I will remember that shloka Mataji. Sarvadharman parityajya mekam saranam vraja. So we achieved the goal. Only the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna and satsang like our Tampa ISKCON devotees, all those things. Okay, Dandavat Pranam Mataji and Prabhujis. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing and inspiring, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to share their reflection or takeaway? Okay, my takeaway I would like to share is practice, continue, be alive, as Naina Brahm Prabhu or his case Pran Govindas Prabhu when meets Naina Brahm Prabhu, he would always say, just be alive. Just be alive in the process. No matter what would come in our way, just be alive. Because things come and go. But if we are not alive, we wouldn't be there to experience. So that's my takeaway to meditate upon. Anyone else? I think we are 2 minutes over, but please feel free to share your reflection, if any.
Hare Krishna Mataji, a wonderful Mataji. My thing is, for me, it is very difficult for me to practice bhakti when I am alone. But I am, of course, because I don't have that much dedication. But when I am with the devotees, I feel so inspired, especially this, Bhagavad Gita class, what we are doing, and satsangs. So association of devotees, is, and I always remember Bhakti Charaswam Maharaj says that whatever happens, don't leave ISKCON. Then you can easily follow Prabhupada and go back into his service. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing. Association is the key. Okay. All right, then 3 minutes over. If nobody would like to, then probably we can end here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you
Let's
for
say 3
taking
times Haribol to our dear Sushilpa Mataji.
Haribol,
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 Haribol.
Shilpa Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare